Mm-hmm. Yeah.
All right, guys. Good evening and welcome to tonight's special broadcast of the Games XP Championship match featuring Skizm eSports taking on Pheonix Rising. My name is Evolve. I will be on the play-by-play tonight, and I am joined by my friend here from Cynical, Swift. So he will be
Hey,
helping me out. Thanks for tuning in today. Um,
definitely.
yeah, I appreciate the help. I know you've been busy with all of the ABL, trying to
Ross
get some
changes.
recruits going, all that
Yeah.
stuff. So I know how that is. We just got finished with ours. But thanks for taking time out of your busy schedule and getting to help me out here. Um,
Definitely.
yeah. So we have a new roster for Skizm. We are going to go through the lineups now. So on the red side, we have Skizm Esports. Maverick is going to be in the top lane. We have Uratos in the jungle. Stevenator in the mid lane. Carmony will be the AD carry, and we'll have Laxon 85 in the support role. They will be taking on Team Pheonix Rising, who will be on the blue side today. We have Alex Skander in the top lane, Canadian Champ in the jungle, K64 in the mid lane, Neutronix in the carry role, and Darquest in the support role. So with that, let's go ahead and get these boys into draft, and we'll get this going here.
All right. It's like from the players that I know as of right now, I've played with Eurotas and he's a pretty solid jungler. He's like really aggro. He knows how to get up in a jungler's face and take over the jungle. From as far as like from Skizm side that I know Stevenator. I saw him play jungle a few times, but I haven't seen him play mid, so I'm interested in seeing how that plays out. And funnily enough, I met Canadian Champ in one of my solo queue games like a couple weeks back, and that's how me and him recognize each other because he invited me over to his in-house server. I'm like, oh okay. It's like I'm down, and he just like has a team for himself. I'm like, okay.
That's hilarious. So you've already met him. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, yeah.
So funny thing enough here, Canadian Champ was one of the players that played in the Fight Fire with Funk Championship game last season. He played for Skizm. So
Oh.
kind of facing off against his old team. He went off and branched off and rebooted his old organization's team, Team Pheonix Rising, and they're looking pretty strong so far this season. So I'm excited to see this matchup, honestly. So we are
Mm-hmm.
all right. It looks like we are getting into draft. So we see Shen taken away from the side of Pheonix Rising. That is matched by a Zed ban. Morgana banned away from Laxon in the support role. Um, the Shen ban and the Morgana ban are both targeted bans. Both these players play a lot of those champions. Maverick is well known for his Shen, and Laxon has like 700 games on the support Morgana.
Yikes.
Yeah, the Orianna ban here. It looks like Skizm opted to take the Yasuo off the board. So it's going to be interesting to see what teams prioritize. So this patch is a little bit strange. They kind of changed things back. We see some strength coming back in the 80 carry role that wasn't really there. So what do you think these teams are going to prioritize in the early draft phase?
Personally, I think the meta right now could use like an early game presence, because from what I can tell, at least from the games that I watch, is that if you can control the early game and just keep that lead throughout the rest of the game, you should be able to win. So, like Xayah pick, if they let something like Rakan go through, or like something with like heavy engage or CC, then you can easily get that lane snowballing, and Xayah is pretty like spikes pretty decently like mid to late game. So
Yeah, it looks like, I mean, Zaya's been a power pick in the last couple days here. We do see the Jax taking from the side of Skizm. Uh, Pretty good flex pick. We'll see where that goes. Do you think they're going to take away the Rakan here to kind of split up that dynamic duo in the bot lane?
I would hope, unless they have something planned to make the lane that much harder, like maybe an Alistar or something, because they already banned out Morgana, which would probably be a good idea. Yeah, okay, so Braum, they're probably gonna give that away and then maybe pick up like Lucian on their third rotation. That'd probably be a good idea to pick.
Yeah, so we do see the Braum coming through. Braum is a pretty strong champion nowadays. They are going to respond with that Rakan to get that dynamic duo in the bot lane here. So a strong bot lane already picked from the side of Team Pheonix Rising, and they're going to lock in the Ornn in the top lane to get them that good engage here. We'll see what Skizm wants to respond with. You mentioned the Lucian. That would be a pretty solid pickup here. It would make sense for them to pick into their AD carry here just to kind of not blind pick.
Yeah. Yep, and here it is. Oh, Varus could work just as well, but
yeah, I like the engage of Varus with that his ethereal chains, but they do decide to lock in the Kai'Sa.
Yeah, it's definitely a safer pick. Kai'Sa can like peel for herself more or less with like her E and her ultimate. So I guess they want something that can scale harder than Xayah, because Kai'Sa definitely does. The more items she gets, the stronger she just gets with all of her scalings on all of her abilities. So with Braum Kai'Sa, I'm guessing that they want to try to stall out lane and then stay alive as long as possible instead of actually trying to out damage them as far as a combo.
Yeah, that would make sense. I mean, you already have the scaling champion with Jax. I'd be surprised to not see that go into the jungle for Yuritas here. I just think, I don't know. I just think the Jax was kind of a bait, and he got the Ornn, which is typically considered, I don't know, because Jax typically does counter the Ornn. But like I said, I think that's going to go in the jungle, in my opinion.
It's definitely a good flex possibility, and it's because Jax, you can pretty much put him either top or jungle no matter what, and even if you just throw him top against this Ornn, all he has to do is just farm up, and eventually he's just going to out damage Ornn, and there's not going to be that many people as of right now who would stop Jax split push. So
yeah, we do see the mid lane kind of pinched away from Stevenator. They took away that Swain and the Vladimir as well as the Orianna from him, trying to force him onto something he's not comfortable on. We do see the Shaco ban come out. Shaco is one of Canadian Champ's most comfortable champions. Funny thing about Canadian Champ though is his pool is so different. He doesn't follow the meta. He's played a lot of Warwick. We saw him bust out the Amumu and perform really well in the last game. So you can't really ban him out, which is pretty cool. We do see the Sejuani come through on the side of Skizm. So that is going to be Jax in the top lane, Sejuani in the jungle.
speaking of Amumu with the hover coming in.
Yeah, he's got the hover, man. He's not afraid to play it, and he performed pretty well. So I don't blame him for taking that champion again. It provides a lot of follow-up engage with the Ornn too. So.
Let's see.
Yep, there it is. They do lock in the Amumu. So that just leaves the mid lane pick for Skizm. With the Kassadin locked in, we'll see what Stevenator decides he wants to take into this.
They already banned out like two, like possibly Talon. I'm thinking of like an AD assassin that would like benefit against somebody as weak as Kassadin early, considering that Jax and Kai'Sa are going to be wanting to scale into the late. Or they could just pick Galio, have a tank that's just going to not care about Kassadin's damage.
Yeah, so we see two pretty heavy front lines coming out in both teams. You have the Braum, Galio, and Sejuani for Skizm, and the Ornn, Amumu on the side of Pheonix Rising. So both teams look like they have a similar idea of what they want to do. What do you think? I mean, in my opinion, it looks like Skizm has a 4-man team comp with a Jax split pusher. So we'll keep an eye on that win condition. What do you think is the win condition for Pheonix Rising?
Pheonix Rising, I think right now their win condition would be get picks and either get Kassadin ahead or try to close the game out fast with a Xayah Rakan power spike. Because the way I see it is that if the game goes late, Jax and Kai'Sa are going to be that much harder to deal with for Xayah and Kassadin especially. not to knock Cassidy scaling, but I don't think that Cassidy is going to fare that well against the Jax personally. And with the amount of CC Skizm has, it's going to be really hard to get onto anyone. So, yeah.
Yeah, I like both drafts, honestly. I like the engage, just the amount of engage that Team Pheonix Rising has with the Amumu. You can follow that up with the Ornn ultimate, or you have the Rakan that can dash in and just kind of keep Xayah and Rakan and Kassadin just able to pump out damage. But in the same sense, you have very similar engage on the side of Skizm. Jax can jump in, Sejuani ultimate can start fights. You have the Braum Glacial Fissure that can do a lot of damage in these fights as well. So I think we have a really good matchup on our hands, honestly. It'll be interesting to see which team, pulls out ahead here.
Yeah, they're both pretty good comps. They're like pretty even and close into like what they want to do. I think it's just a matter of like Pheonix Risings like does a bit better in the early game picking off someone, and then Skizm is gonna benefit more off of like a late game team fight, playing like front to back more or less.
Yeah, for sure. So, I'm a top laner, so I know a little bit about the top laner matchups. So typically Jax is considered a counter pick to Ornn. He's able to lock him down with some of that CC, and he can jump on the Ornn and kind of dance around his abilities here. You're typically a bot lane player. Well, I'm gonna say you're the best Phil player I know because you play a little bit of everything.
Pretty much.
What do you think about this bot lane matchup? So Kai'Sa Braum and the Xayah Rakan. What are both teams looking to do?
Xayah and Rakan are mostly gonna try to look for a time when Kai'Sa is caught out and try to pick her off when like Braum isn't near or is too far away, and just try to like get Xayah's feathers like behind her in the first place, because that's what makes it hard for Xayah is Braum's like unbreakable that just prevents her feathers from even reaching where they need to be. And on the other side, Kai'Sa and Braum, they're just mainly gonna look to stall out the lane to scale, and if they pick anybody off, it's probably gonna need to be Rakan, because his engage is like the main threat, more like rather than Xayah's damage up front at least. So that should be how at least the lane phase should play out.
Okay. And then you have the Galio. The Galio definitely wants to team fight for sure. They want to hop in and kind of win these team fights and change it with his ultimate ability there. Whereas the Kassadin, I think Kassadin's more stereotypically like a split push assassin, trying to find these picks off in the mid lane here. So there's a little different play styles across the board. So I think it'll be pretty exciting to watch this game.
Yeah. I think jungle is probably gonna focus more towards mid and top, because both champs, like say Jax for Skizm and then Cassidy for Pheonix Rising, are definitely strong picks to have accelerated into the late game, and their matchups are more or less just trying to like not. So like Saul Galio's gonna want to go into like late and not take any damage from Cass, and then Ornn probably doesn't want to give Jax any sort of a lead early, because then that just makes it that much harder to at least counter him like later on into the game when it comes to like splitting and fighting.
Definitely. Well, we do see we are getting loaded into this game. We have it looks like the skin matchup is going to go to the side of Skizm. They have 4 champions with skins to the 3 on Team Pheonix Rising. So we'll see if that plays a part in anything here. Typically doesn't, but we'll see.
Hey,
how it
one
goes.
can hope.
One can hope. That's right.
Go.
All right. So yeah, one matchup that I definitely want to look into here as we are getting loaded in here. I do want to take a look at this jungle matchup. Yuratos is new. He just joined Skizm not so long ago, so he is going to be. We're going to see how he synergizes with the team. Whereas Canadian Champ, this is his team. He has basically built it from the ground up. So we are getting into game here. Do you have any problems loading in? Everything good?
Yep, everything's good for me.
Awesome. Good to hear. No spectator errors today. All right, so we do see the teams heading down, lining up to traditional 5 points we're kind of seeing here. Everyone's hovering around, trying to see everybody out, get some vision down, and go from there. So what matchup are you most excited to take a peek at in this game?
Bot lane for me is like on a lane of its own. It's probably going to be the more interesting one for me to see how Xayah plays around the Braum and how Kai'Sa like tries to find a lead, because they're like my two favorite ADCs to play, Xayah and Kai'Sa, because they just take that much skill to play, and if you play them well, you can see it. As far as like anywhere else around the map, I'm definitely interested in seeing how the jungle affects mid lane, because they're both champs aren't really known for doing that much like pre-6 or doing that much in lane, so.
Yeah, so we did see the late invade from the side of Pheonix Rising. They get a nice ward onto the Raptors there, so they are going to try to spot this Sejuani while she passed through her jungle here. Other than that, pretty traditional start. Both teams are leashing their jungler in the bot lane, and now the teams are heading to their respective lanes. And there we see a late ward on the side of Stevenator, so pretty good. Early action in this bot lane. Carmony getting hit by that Rakan, doing a lot of damage, able to return some of the damage here. We do see the Ignite, and the first blood goes to Laxon with the Winter's Bite, picks him off there. So a little over-aggression early from the side of Pheonix Rising, but Maverick gets solo killed in the top lane. So these teams are wasting no time to get into the action here. Overall, 1-for-1. Ornn taking that kill top, and the first blood going to Braum.
Yeah. Kind of like I said before, if Rakan gets like caught out or over aggro's, he's pretty like easy to punish, especially early on when he doesn't have his dash back to Xayah. So once he landed that knockup, he probably should have maybe gotten an auto to and backed off, but he decided to keep going with it even with the passive on him.
Yeah, we do see both teams blowing a lot of summoners. So all summoners down for Skizm's bot lane. Neutrinix and Darkquace, however you say his name, they still have the heal and the Ignite available. So we'll see how this next fight in the bot lane goes. We'll probably see some action there.
And the kill going over to Ornn, that's definitely going to help him out, especially with the slight CS lead he has on Jax. It's going to be that much harder for Jax to punch through him with all of that. Well, he already has a cloth armor this early in, so.
Yeah, that early lead for the Ornn is going to definitely hurt in that matchup. I think Jax just got a little overzealous here. He wants to farm up a little bit. He can't duel level 1, level 2 with Ornn. Ornn just does too much damage early.
And the shield, it's pretty big.
Exactly. I think he just underestimated what Ornn can do this early.
Definitely. Let's see. Eurotas hovering over mid, seeing if he can probably pick off or anything. I guess he's gonna go back, head off the top lane.
Yeah, we do see some more tradings in here. Again, I think Alistander is getting the best in these trades. He has the item advantage already. Not a lot of action from the junglers yet.
One thing that I learned about playing top lane again more recently is that Ornn Qs, especially when you start maxing them, they start hurting a great deal.
Oh yeah, Ornn's a very strong champion. The only thing that I hate about it is like playing those tanks in that solo queue environment really just feels so bad. You feel like you're doing so well, and like you can only affect the team fight so much.
Usually the way it goes for me is that I get a lead, and then the one time I die, there's 3 people top, and my tower's the first one to go. It's like, okay, guys,
well,
thanks.
this is fun. It's been fun. Yeah, so teams just kind of farming it out here. We're not seeing a lot of early action. Both these junglers typically want to wait until they get level 6 before they start really affecting the game so much. So we're going to see, I think we're going to see a lot of the action coming in the next few minutes when the Amumu and the Sejuani start to come online.
Definitely. Especially with mid lane. Both mid laners don't really do much in terms of like fights until like level 6 when Catherine gets his Rift Walk, and then Galio can just jump onto someone whoever engages into a fight, so.
The thing is, though, Jax is going to start doing a lot of damage here, and we see that now. He's able to start dueling here. Once the Jax starts getting into his Trinity Force core with that Sheen, hits level 6, so he'll start to do some work. So we do see Canadian Champ trying to make something happen. Oh, here comes the engage from the bot lane. Winter's Bite does hit the Xayah. She is stunned up here. The Ignite goes down. Neutrinix is going to go down. Carmine takes the pill. Up in the top lane, we have some action. Canadian Champ going onto Maverick. Maverick with the flash, hops away, barely survives with his life. So that's 1-0 in the favor of Skizm Gaming, and we start to see this Xayah, you know, Rakan lane is very squishy. It's tough to deal with that Braum.
Braum can just walk up, and since Xayah isn't a mobile, she can just get picked off that easy.
Yeah, so I think it's a good job on the side of Skizm what they're doing early in this game, punishing the fact that these two champions don't really have a lot of peel until they hit their level 6. So this early lead for them is really big.
Definitely, Xayah. Well, I mean, sKz has an entire dagger and longsword on top of them. Getting that passive off that much faster and the autos dealing that much more damage is really going to come in handy.
Yeah, we do see that lead starting to grow in the bot lane for Skizm. However, if we turn our attention to the top lane, Maverick is already down about 15 CS and a kill there. So he is starting to fall behind in the top lane. So I think that puts a lot of pressure on sKz to try to push through this lane and start to spread his lead to other lanes, or they're going to have a tough time staying in this game.
Definitely. Either that or hope that Cassidy gets a kill somehow.
Right, we do see Maverick going aggressive. They are fighting in a big lane. Jeez, the damage from Ornn is still pretty insane. That percent health damage is just so much. It adds up so much over time.
Ooh,
but Maverick
Galio's
wants this fight. Here comes the Galio. I don't think he's going to be able to do anything as the Ornn just kind of runs away at that point. Oh no. Is he going to go for the Call of the Forge God here? I don't think he's ballsy enough to go for the 1v2 yet. I think Maverick's going to be able to walk away. Here comes. Here we go. There is the ult from Eurotas. Gets the Rakan set up, but Rakan okay, Flash is going everywhere. I'm not sure what happened. There's a lot of damage coming out. The heal is going to save Laxon's life. We see the TP coming through for sKz. There is 4 members of
the Forge God.
Here comes the Call of the Forge God. That's going to be huge. Takes out 2 members with that double kill for Ornn. Another kill and a huge fight for the side of Pheonix Rising. They pick up 4 kills in that bot lane.
I bet that Rakan right now is just saying calculator the whole time, because man, that turned quickly.
Yeah, very good synergy from the side of Pheonix Rising. They definitely were able to make the best out of that situation.
It's like now with Jax, it's like he doesn't have TP, he doesn't have flash. He just couldn't find any way to respond to the Ornn coming down. And with Forge got up, it was done at that point.
Yeah, we were talking about him having to make an impact on this game. Well, that teleport Call of the Forge God seemed to make that happen. We do see Neutrinix is in a bad spot here. She does have the feathers here. Hits the ultimate ability. Laxon just takes 6. Here comes the Glacial Fissure. There's not a lot of damage coming out from Carmine yet. Oh my gosh, he does pick up the kill there. Laxon's still low. We do see another teleport from the side of Pheonix Rising. The Kassadin's in this bot lane, but the Galio's coming down as well. So a very good idea of what was going on. They do end up picking that kill up onto the Xayah again.
Yeah, a bit greedy with blowing the ulti about full HP. That's something you never really want to do on Xayah unless you're sure you're going to get the kill.
Right, we do see Eurotas coming up in the top lane, trying to pick on this this Ornn here. They do get the lockup. They're not putting enough damage out now. Maverick is going to go very low. They are. Oh, are they going to be able to finish this off? I don't think they are. sKz does a great job and just walks away. But Canadian Champ's caught out in the jungle, and that's a kill for Stevenator. What a great roam on his behalf. And he's smelling out for this Ornn in the top lane as well.
Oh, such a good flash from sKz. That like point blank, Sedge ulti, and he flashed out of it. That was insane.
Yeah, what a good job from Alexander. So we do see a big lead in this bot lane, but Skizm is right in this game with leads across the map. This game's gonna be quite the battle, it seems like.
Yeah, it's almost dead even. Down about like a few hundred gold, about 200 on each.
Now we do see both bot laners finish their Storm Razor. We do see the sKz does have her Brawler's gloves, so that's going to make things a little bit favored towards their side. But one thing that the Team Pheonix Rising has is that first Mountain Drake. That Mountain Drake's going to be huge in the later parts of this game, picking up the objectives that they need to finish it out. Laxon walks in, finds Canadian Champ, trying to run away, but he's just going to get CC'd up. The Sejuani is on the way here. Is he going to be able to get out? Here comes the knockup by Dark Quest here, going very low, does go down. So a good pick, some good awareness from the side of Team Pheonix Rising. Canadian Champ able to pick up that kill on the support.
Oh no.
But we see Canadian Champ, he does walk in. He's able to walk out though, nothing too big.
See, not much action in the mid lane. Castle only really picked up at that. Oh, never mind. More action coming in.
Here comes Canadian Champ. He has his eyes set on Stevenator now. He's going to go really low. Amumu does have the ult available. Is he able to get out of this? No, Stevenator goes down. Another great gank from Canadian Champ, showing his impressive confidence on this Amumu.
I can only imagine how hard it is for this Jax to trade up top lane now. The Orange 3-0 and Toonies got Frozen Heart done.
Yeah, that Frozen Heart's going to be a very big problem for the Jax and the sKz even going into this later game. Interestingly enough, though, typically when I get ahead on Ornn, I want to go for that Iceborne Gauntlet. So to, because I mean, Sheen is so good on Ornn. You just do so much damage.
It really is. Sheen proc on top of a grass proc is insane amount of damage in just one auto.
Yeah, so I understand why you'd want to go with the Frozen Heart, but yeah, I think Iceborne might have been the way there. But we'll see how that changes.
Coming from an Ornn enthusiast, Iceborne.
Yeah, I almost changed my name to sKz Ornnbot because that's the only champion that I was allowed to play in 5s.
Rip.
He was bound, man.
I remember that series.
Oh yeah. I think your Uritas does too.
Yeah, he probably does.
All right, we do see the engage coming through from the Rakan. Nice Glacial Fissure, but the Canadian Champ is able to get through that. He is chasing down the sKz. We see the teleport coming through from the Jax. One more auto is going to take Amumu and stun him up here. Maverick turns onto the Amumu. Here comes the Galio ultimate. It's going to come in, knocks down, shuts down the Amumu here. They want more. We do see Sejuani looping around. He does have his ult available. There is the ultimate from Zaya. Rodas picks up Dark Quest, and Skizm, another good play. They're able to pick up 3 members for none and turn their sights on this first turret.
This is a pretty good play with Maverick coming in on the flank, just cutting off Zaya from Rakan and just making it that much easier to secure the tower with no one around it.
Yeah, and they are able to pick up that first turret before the Ornn in the top lane. And now they're looking for tier 2 here. We'll see if this is a bit of an overstay. You do see all the members of Pheonix Rising are up, but it does look like they are going to be able to finish this up. Oh, yep, they do pick up that turret.
Yes, pretty good play from Maverick, deciding to roam down bot. With that TP change, if it wasn't for that, Alexander probably could have made it down there during that fight, but that extra minute added, he's just sitting there top lane just realizing, oh, well, that's happening.
Yeah. In both teams, both top laners, they seem to understand that they need to start affecting other parts of the map. So good TP plays, honestly, from both of these top laners. And again, we see a slight gold lead for the side of Skizm, almost 1,000 here. But a second Mountain Drake is spawning for Pheonix Rising, and they have their eyes set on it. This will be huge for them going into this game. Ooh, almost tried to snipe it there, but yeah, it eventually does go down. And that's another Mountain Drake to the side of Pheonix Rising. And in the meantime, it looks like the Kassadin's going to be able to take this mid-tier 1 turret. Maybe not. We have 3 members in the mid lane for Skizm. The 4 members of Pheonix Rising are able to walk away, though.
Maverick coming down mid. It seems like they want to get this mid tower taken, or at least put some pressure on it. Yeah, now Orange staying in the top lane, probably just going to push this wave out. Ping for Rift?
Yeah, the good thing that Pheonix Rising is doing is they're controlling these neutral objectives here, and I really think Skizm needs to do a better job of contesting these Mountain Drakes, as well as like Rift Herald. Those are going to play a big part in this game, I think. We do see Laxon going in aggressive onto the bot lane of Pheonix Rising. Yuratos is there. The Amumu comes in, gets the ult, and it looks like Yuratos is going to go down here. Call the Forge God coming through. He whiffs the second part of it, gets the stun off. Here comes Jax. Is it going to be enough to save him? It doesn't look like it, although he is living. He does pick up the kill, Canadian champ. Good job. Here comes the Glacial Fissure from Laxon. Is Maverick going to be able to pump up enough damage on these 2 heavy tanks there? I'm not sure. They are going low, but it looks like this is going to be a 1 fight for Pheonix Rising.
Yeah, they're able to pick. I think they stole a buff as well. Well, they definitely stole it now, considering Sedge is dead, but whatever.
Yeah, Mumu was able to hop in there, get the smite onto the red buff, and just beat up the Sejuani at that point. We do see Carmony looking for this Ornn, not able to hit the ability, and Orange is going to go ahead and reset here. So here we are once again. It's a very even game, 8-8, 2 towers per team. The only big notable lead is the 2 Mountain Drakes for Pheonix Rising.
Personally, I think it's going to be a bit hard for them to be able to get any usage out of the Mountain Drake, considering it's not like you have someone like a Syndra or like say an Ahri that has like a decent amount of wave clear that can you at least like siege or push waves with. Castellan just has little to no wave clear. And then if you have Xayah like close to the front line just trying to wave clear and hit the tower, it just makes her that much more open to something like a Sedge or a Braum.
And I think you mentioned it early in the game, but I'm pretty sure that Pheonix Rising is kind of on a time bomb at this point. You don't want to see this Jax and Kai'Sa come alive.
Definitely not. Jax already on his Triforce. It's a bit later than he probably would like, but it's still a decent power spike. He can probably start dueling a few different people.
We do see Yuratos going aggressive onto Alex Skander here. We are going to see a fight come out in this top lane. Canadian champ goes on to Laxon here. He does have his ultimate coming up very soon, so he's just kind of stalling out until he can. I don't know if Skizm wants to take a 5v5 fight here with that Amumu ultimate in play. They are kind of just backing off and trying to get some lane priority. With that, Canadian champ clearing out some vision in this top side. I think Rift Herald is definitely the next objective on the eyes of Pheonix Rising. That's going to do huge amounts for them. So they're going ahead and starting it here. They should know that they're doing it after that Winter's Bite misses, but they aren't reacting quickly at all. And it does go down over to the side of Pheonix Rising.
He is down.
Down goes Laxing. We do see the quickness coming out from the Rakan. Call the Forge God, knocking some members of Skizm down. That's another kill picked up for the side of Pheonix Rising.
Well, Jackson split push just barely doesn't have TP. Again, the TP timers. It's like if they wasn't nerfed, they would probably be there, and the fight could have possibly been different. Ooh.
Yeah, and Pheonix Rising spots that Jax bot, immediately pops the Rift Herald, trying to just blow open this mid lane. And that's a big charge from Shelly.
Cassidy coming in, trying to deal damage, picks off the Kai'Sa.
He is able to take him down here. And that's another 2 kills picked up for the side of Pheonix Rising. This Jax needs to come back and help, or they're going to blow in the base here. Here comes the ultimate coming through from Galio. Big knock-up here. Takes out a bunch of members of Pheonix Rising. Gets the flash taunt. Great job from Stevenator to turn that around.
It's pretty big. They did lose the tower, but hey, they stole their backs and caused these respawn timers, and now it's going to be a lot harder for them to contest the mid tower once they come back. That was a pretty good Galio ulti, not gonna lie.
Yeah, that really changed the fight right there. This Galio's putting in a lot of work with these huge ultimates at the moment.
Mm-hmm. Like splitting, they have Ornn bot. They probably want to focus the dragons coming up soon.
Yeah, dragon is spawning. Do you know what Drake is coming in?
Yeah, I can check real quick. It is another mountain drake, triple mountain.
Oh my goodness. So yeah, this Drake needs to be a priority for Skizm. They can't keep giving these neutral objectives over.
Mm-hmm.
So there is the fight now, getting some of this vision out. The Jax is split pushing in the top lane.
He does have TP.
Yes, he does have his TP available. They do turn their attention onto this Mountain Drake, and Skizm really isn't in a place to contest this once again, and that's another Mountain Drake for Team Pheonix Rising. We do see the Jax picking up a turret in the top lane. This is a small corridor. There's going to be a lot of big global ultimates coming through here. Canadian Champ is kind of out of the way. On to Laxon. That's a lot of abilities used to take down the support, and he's going to go down to the Kaisa here. We do see Maverick going low but not being taken down. It's a 4v4 now. Maverick, oh, they do spot him out here. He is able to hop over to Carmony. Carmony just pumping out DPS as much as they can. So a 1-for-1 trade in that fight there. However, the third Mountain Drake going over to Team Pheonix Rising.
Oh, Ornn coming in. He's insanely tanky. Let's see. Nope, yeah, 4 people there.
Yep, a little bit of an overstay from the Ornn. So that gives a little bit of breathing room, but they have to back immediately because Pheonix Rising has the inside track on this mid lane inhibitor.
Ornn's definitely going to take a bunch of people to focus to take down. I think like earlier in that fight, Kaisa like procced a passive and landed all of her abilities, but took like almost nothing off of Ornn's health bar because of that Abyssal Mask.
Yeah, the Abyssal Mask, not only is it going to be magic resistance to help him out, but it's also going to pump up the damage of the Kassadin as well as the Amumu in these team fights.
Yeah, definitely beneficial. Pretty efficient buy. They say so. Setting up for Baron, sending Xayah over to clear the top wave. Probably get pushed in.
And we are just about dead even on gold once again. This game is just back and forth, just a slugfest right now.
I'm going in for a back. Seems like Skizm wants to get this mid tower. Yep, and it's probably going to go uncontested. We can't. Back timings are just a bit off, not really able to respond.
Yeah, Ornn does have the TP advantage here, but there's really nowhere for him to teleport to really make it worthwhile. The interesting thing is, what is Jax going to do? He needs to stay towards his top side until his teleport's up, because if he goes bot again, if Pheonix Rising keeps doing what they're doing, they will take this Baron.
Ooh, almost lands.
Yeah, Mumu was kind of looking for Maverick there. Wasn't able to make anything happen. The Ornn is in this bot lane split pushing, so Skizm has to do something to match this. With Maverick's TP still down for another minute, they either need to engage right here, or they're going to have a risk of giving up Baron.
Probably send down Ornn to take this bot tower.
Yeah, they're not going to be able to contest it, because unless they send Stevenator down here. So they are trying to engage. We do see Canadian Champ on the back line, but that's going to be responded to by Skizm going in. Carmony is going really low. He's able to flash the wall. He is staying alive here. Alex Scanner does pick up the kill here. And a lot of damage going down. This is a huge fight for Pheonix Rising, putting them right back there. A lot of low members. We do see the Zonias, but goes down. And that's 3 members down for Skizm. 3 for nothing. They're going to set their eyes on this Baron and this inhibitor.
He just barely makes it out the skin of his teeth, but I think at this point this should be Pheonix Rising's Baron.
Oh, with 3 Mountain Drakes, this thing is just going to get destroyed. There's not much they can do.
It's already at like 2k.
Yeah, those 3 Mountain Drakes really putting in work right there. And again, we just see the neutral objective control from Pheonix Rising is really paying off for them in this game. There's just been almost no contest from Skizm in these Drakes, Baron, Rift Herald, none of it.
It's definitely interesting to me, at least, is that Kaisa right now went Storm Razor and then went into Rapid Fire, which I don't think is that bad per se, but it's definitely not the best considering I don't think she has any. The only evolve that she has right now is probably her E.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like she's going to be pumping up too much damage, honestly. It's going to be a lot of attack speed, but the attack damage really isn't there at this point.
Yeah, like she went like it seems she's buying into a Gwynsu's now after Rapid Fire, but then at the same time it's like you should already have the attack speed for your E evolution, so why not just get the pickaxe if you have the gold for it and get the Q? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm not sure. We do see the Hydra finished, Titanic Hydra finished for the Jax here. So he's starting to get his core items built. He has now taken a gold lead. So, you know, if Skizm is able to hold this out, let this this Kaisa finish that Gwynsu's, I think that's when they're going to start looking to fight these team fights.
Yeah, because right now I don't see a way where Kaisa's going to be out damaging Xayah with Xayah already having her IE finished. And with Runan, she's going to be applying it to everyone near her.
Right, and the problem is too, the Amumu has been able, in that last fight, Amumu was able to walk right through the team and just get onto Carmony, and really kind of made him useless in that fight. He had to flash over the wall and just wasn't doing any damage, so that can't happen in these next fights.
Jax, he doesn't have TP. This inhibitor should be going down.
Yeah, I'm not sure what Jax is thinking right here, kind of just giving that up. And we do see another Drake spawning here. That's probably going to be another Drake for Pheonix Rising.
Yeah, and that Drake is an Infernal Drake. Oh no.
I mean, even if he gets a split push off, they have Baron empowered recalls. I'm not sure if this is the right call.
Ooh, dropping the Ignite down, making sure Ornn can't back just yet.
He does force
the TP.
He does force the TP from Kassadin. Interestingly enough. Yeah, I think they're underestimating what Maverick can do right here. We do see engaged from the side of Pheonix Rising. Big fight coming in this Dragon Pit, and they are just going to get destroyed. Xayah's just pumping out so much damage. Now, that is a big loss for the side of Skizm. They are going to pick up this inhibitor, but I don't think it's going to be enough. With 30-second death timers, they might be able to push for the win in this game, especially if they stop Jax's back here.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be a bit difficult. The TP.
Okay, we do see the TP out, so that's going to at least buy Skizm a little bit of time to get their other champions up. Maverick can't go down here, though.
Maverick goes back in.
Oh, that was... I think that was
a bit greedy.
Yeah, I think he just needed to try to clear out the waves the best that he could. This is going to be a tough spot now for Skizm.
They could possibly do this.
Yeah, we need to see an engage right here before Amumu gets in. They do lose both of their Nexus turrets there.
Kaisa nearly dying again to the super minions. If that happened, oof.
Yeah, I think that would have been game over. We just see the amount of damage that Xayah is pumping out. It's insane right now.
Definitely coming in. Hopefully, Kaisa's a bit close to getting her Gwynsu's done. Hopefully by then she'll be able to have the damage to match Xayah in a fight, but right now it doesn't seem that much like it, especially considering she's building a GA. If she finishes that, God help him.
Yeah, right. We do see some big numbers coming out from Galio, is able to pick up some of these kills here, but they really need to try to wait for Kaisa to come online. The Xayah is just melting through Skizm right now. Here comes Maverick going aggressive on Alexander. He is up a level now and quite a bit of gold, so he's going to be able to do a bunch here.
It's back. He's probably beaten him. Xayah with the ulti's early.
Coming in here.
But it's fine. The damage is just...
Yeah,
sick.
We see the double kill coming in from Kassadin here. He's still very strong. They do get 2 kills in return. I think Kassadin's going to be able to clean up this fight. Oh, triple kill for Kassadin, looking for that quadra kill. And in the meantime, we have Supers just pounding on the base of Skizm here. Supers might end the game.
And Jax has to just recall that he couldn't finish out Alexander. At least kept them stalled, and Cassidy just picking up the kills and getting. Well, he already has his Seraph stack. He's getting to that point where he can just jump on anyone he wants and start just obliterating them.
Yeah, he's so strong right now. Kay is just kind of taking over the game. He had one kill all the way into like the last few minutes of this game and picked up huge. He's just doing so much damage in these fights. There's not much Skizm can do to deal with it right now.
And there's the Gwinsu finish. Go Jax following Cass, but I don't think he wants to do that with a Cass with red buff.
No,
at
Cass,
level 16.
Cass has red buff. He's gonna pump out a lot of damage. You saw the Amumu lurking coming up in this. He would have been able to just kind of destroy the Jax there. So good job from him not to kind of take that bait.
Good backstall, and Xayah now has a GA, an entire item lead on top of the Kai'Sa right now. It was already hard enough to pick up the Xayah with her ultimate, but now it's almost back up, and then a GA on top of that, plus Ornn Locket.
Right. He's keeping people alive. He's helping Amumu do damage. I don't know. This one seems pretty tough for Skizm. We see the Baron coming up in around 20 seconds. That's pivotal. If they want to get back into this game, they have to take this Baron. But at this point, I think Pheonix Rising, they're winning team fights. He needs to really, we'll see how they can do with this Jax in the team fight. He hasn't been there, but it hasn't looked good for Skizm these last few team fights. They are starting the Baron here, and you see those Mountain Drakes doing work once again. We do see the Bandage Tosh miss from Canadian Champ. They're looking to engage. Here comes the Glacial Fissure. Stevenator goes in, hits a three-man's root here. This fight is looking good on the side of Skizm so far. Uritas goes down. They are on the back line of Skizm. Kaze is unstoppable. He's going to turn on to Stevenator. And the only one is Laxin. And we have an open Nexus for Pheonix Rising to go take. That's going to be game one for the side of Pheonix Rising. We do see
flashes. They're all flashing on. They want this.
They're all flashing. They want to get to this Nexus as soon as possible to end this game. All right.
But just in case, they throw Cassidy back in the base, like, hey, just clear it, just in case.
Just in case. They just wanted to make sure nothing crazy happened. Yeah. So game one going to Pheonix Rising.
It was a pretty good game. It was pretty even throughout a lot of it.
Yeah, we did see, it looked pretty good all the way through. Again, what I think helped the most, I think Pheonix Rising, they just controlled those neutral objectives so well, able to get those Mountain Drakes and then the Rift Herald, which led to the Baron, and I think that's really what set them apart in this game.
They were able to at least, they stalled the Jax and the Kai'Sa long enough to where they couldn't deal any damage, and once Xayah started hitting her spikes and Ornn was just too tanky to deal with, they could just take any objective that they wanted and pick any fight that they wanted.
Yeah, and a great job from the side of Pheonix Rising. They get the impressive game one, so we'll see if Skizm can bounce back in this game too. It's going to be interesting to see what they decide to pick here. It doesn't seem like the split push Jax really worked. What do you think they need to draft in game two to kind of change up their style and maybe push a game three?
If Pheonix Rising goes for like a similar type of like pick or like team comp, I'd say Skizm will probably have to try to get something that's can at least scale or like spike faster into the game, or have somebody start snowballing earlier, because I think the problem was that there wasn't anyone to really like be like the leader in a team fight per se, with Kai'Sa falling behind and then Jax wanting to split push throughout most of the game. So there wasn't really anyone with like a good source of damage to win a fight if it ever broke out. So
Yeah. All right, well, we are going to take a short break. We will be back for Champ Select for Game 2 of Skizm eSports versus Team Pheonix Rising.